Well, schools in Malawi are learning what to do if someone tries to attack them, that is schoolgirls. Now, the training comes in response to a study that showed 1 in 5 girls under age 18 in Malawi has been sexually assaulted. Lamik Messina has the story from Central Malawi.
This is not a martial arts class, but these girls are learning how to defend themselves.
The curriculum involves both verbal and physical skills. With the physical skills, it's used only if it's the last and best option. So, meaning to say, we use mainly the verbal skills, which is how to use their voices to end assaults.
The girls learn to shout for help or pretend they see someone coming to fool their attacker. They also learn techniques to disable the attacker so they can run for safety. Instructors from the charity Ujama Pamoja Africa have been conducting these weekly 2-hour lessons at schools in 7 districts around Malawi.
At the end of the year, we would like to reduce the incidences of rape. We would also like to promote education by reducing early marriages, school dropouts, and also early pregnancies.
The UN Children's Fund is financing the program. So far, 25,000 girls have taken part. Teachers say Ujama interventions have removed some of the stigma around sexual assault.
In the past, girls were not reporting it, but now they are indeed empowered to report abuses. Some are reporting the incidents to us teachers, and others to their parents for action.
And some girls say they have already had to use their skills.
My uncle ordered me to lie on his bed. When I asked why, he started touching my body. I told him to stop and that I will report him to police or my mother if he continues. After hearing this, he ordered me out of his room.
The Ujama project is also teaching boys about respecting girls and teaching them how to intervene if they see a girl being assaulted. Funds permitting, project organizers say they want to extend the self-defense program to students nationwide. Lamik Messina for VOA News, Salima, Malawi.
Is an improved pension system possible for Africa? Well, policymakers and finance experts on the continent are optimistic that it is. But getting there will depend on attracting more participants and boosting the viability of their investments. All of that was in focus at the recent Africa Special Edition of the World Pension Summit in Abuja. Let's take a look.
And their greatest social...
Nigeria plays host to over 500 delegates from across the world at the 3rd Africa Special Edition of the World Pension Summit in Abuja.
To welcome here the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
With the theme Pension Innovation, the African Perspective, speakers highlight the impact of technology in expanding the industry.
The success stories of emerging industries and smaller innovative initiatives such as a portable irrigation technology helping sub-Saharan Africa smallholder farmers grow crops out of season. These innovations undoubtedly provide the foundations for transforming the continent over the next decades.
Your payments, your internet connection, your social connections, every possible matter is available in your hand. That's the advantage of smartphones, literally.
On the basis of the success of pension reform in Nigeria, the head of civil service urges African states to tap into the opportunities for economic growth.
It is noteworthy that within 12 years of its implementation, the contributory pension scheme has to a large extent stabilized our pension administration system. For instance, before the reform, Nigeria had huge pension liabilities in trillions of naira, but now the contributory pension scheme has generated over 5.83 trillion worth of pension assets as at 30th June 2016, which are invested in various sectors of the Nigerian economy.
Another focus of the meeting is increasing the level of contributors, which some attendees agree is achievable through close monitoring of pension operators.
The regulator plays a huge part there. So making sure that the pension fund administrators that are doing business, that they are well regulated, so that they invest the money responsibly, that people have an ability to complain if they can't get their money, that companies that are unethical or not doing business properly are actually closed down or are sanctioned.
A more inclusive pension administration, which includes the informal sector, remains a core aspect of these discussions, seen as crucial to maximizing the assets for economic development.
While you're watching Africa 54, I'm Vincent McCory. Planning for the future is always a good idea, but in Cape Town, the sale of a school has got some people worried about where they are going to be living. Isa Jacobson has the story from South Africa.
Sea Point on Cape Town's Atlantic seaboard, ideally located just a 10-minute drive from the city centre, has become a highly sought-after neighbourhood. But the increased demand for property has sent prices skyrocketing, effectively making it impossible for a working-class person to live in decent accommodation here. Elizabeth Kaboka has lived and worked in Sea Point for 22 years. If she wants to live near her place of employment, all she can afford to rent is a storeroom at the back of a block of flats.
They turn the apartments totally into luxury apartments, and therefore we can't afford it. And this is one of the reasons we have to live in the back rooms.
Many women who are domestic workers in the area have to live like this, or must travel long distances and can't live with their families. This, they say, makes it effectively like living in apartheid-style conditions.
It's getting so bad that now if you actually want to combine your money and get into a building so that you can stay with your families and rent a place, then they just tell you that no, the place is not available because of the color of your skin.
It is unsurprising then that Elizabeth has joined a growing movement calling for affordable housing in central Cape Town.
So that is why we're here today, in solidarity with all the domestic workers, all the security guards that have to wake up at the very early hours of the morning.
Central to this movement is an abandoned school located in Sea Point on land owned by the provincial government. In 2012, Tafelberg School was part of a feasibility study into social housing, but earlier this year the government sold it to a private school for nearly $10 million. A local organization, Ndifuna Ukwazi, supported a campaign called Reclaim the City and stopped the sale because the public had not been consulted. People were then asked to participate through written and oral submissions. On the day, Elizabeth stood up to have her say.
Now I don't want to only speak for myself. I also want to speak for those that can't stand here and speak for themselves. In many blocks, people are not allowed to even have visitors where they live in the backyards.
We have to show them that it's because of us, domestic workers. This beautiful Sea Point, the way it is today, it is because of our contribution. And we feel we want to live in decency, we want to live in a safe environment, and this is how we will never stop fighting.
No matter what the final decision from government regarding the sale of Tafelberg School will be, many like Elizabeth believe this is just the beginning of the fight for affordable housing in central Cape Town. Isa Jacobson for VOA, Cape Town.
It's time for another break. Before we go, a reminder to visit our website, channelstv.com, for all the latest information day or night. You can also find us on youtube.com/channelsweb. Still to come on Africa 54. The new National Museum of African American History and Culture opens its doors to the public in Washington. We'll take you there after the break.